FCT residents fume over petrol hike. Delta tricyclists protest. ACF apologizes to North for failing in crisis. On the foreign scene, migrant boat capsizes, 1 dead, 22 missing in Libya. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. The pump price of petrol was sharply increased across Nigeria on Tuesday, with prices now ranging from 855 naira in Lagos to 897 naira in Abuja at major stations, while independent petrol stations are charging between 959 naira and 1,000 naira per litre. In this report, Neil Sampson speaks with commuters, private car owners and commercial drivers about the immediate impact of the price hike, particularly in parts of the Federal Capital Territory. The report.
The usually bustling roads of the Federal Capital Territory are now noticeably empty, with significantly fewer cars and commuters. Many car owners, both commercial and private, have opted to leave their vehicles at home due to the recent fuel price hike, while others are seen queuing at stations offering slightly more favorable prices. A stark example is the Area 1 shopping plaza, typically a hive of activity, which was unusually quiet today. FCT residents in conversations emphasize the severe impact this fuel price adjustment is having on the general population.
In short, even the route that we usually take for 100, 200 now, this morning while coming out, I was charged 300, 400 naira. And one painful thing is the income have not increased, but yet the expenditure is increasing day by day.
It's affected because even us we have our own car where we queue for money in the morning. I bought fuel yesterday around 4 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the evening. And even how much will you buy? And if your budget, you have a budget of 10,000 naira, what the 10,000 naira drive you? 10,000 naira fuel cannot drive you from here now to Kubwa, or we say.
Price of food items are increasing. Everything is no longer friendly. So please, we are appealing to the government of the day, government of Tinubu, Mr. Bola Tinubu, to help the masses. It's no longer funny, honestly. The country are in this different situation now.
We spoke to several drivers waiting in line at fuel stations who shared the current petrol prices at the pumps and recounted the challenges they faced before finally securing fuel. Their experiences highlighted the growing difficulties amid the recent price hike.
I was not happy because I slept in free station since yesterday night over this morning, and I bought fuel in the MRS at this what they call it, Gadwa Junction. So they sell at the rate of 903.
Since yesterday, we sleep for this police station. We dey pray to our country, make better. So now like this, now they don't increase their own fuel, but this police station, they are the best. How much you sell that one now? Now they are selling 9 and 9 naira. They are 3 naira. Now they sell now like this.
Are they here around 5:30 in the morning time where we just come up from mosque, CBE prayer? I'm here. Up to now I never see buy.
So how much you say that one for here?
You are selling for liter 903 naira.
Black market fuel sellers along roadsides have been blamed for contributing to the fuel scarcity by selling at very high prices. However, one of the sellers explained the reasons behind the high prices, shedding light on the challenges they face in obtaining and distributing the products.
Man, I sell 1 liter in full intention, 1,100 naira.
We buy 1 liter from fueling station at 1,100 after they collect 2,000 for each jerrycan in order to get the product. As Nigerians continue to grapple with the economic hardship compounded by the recent fuel price hike, many are appealing to the federal government to reduce the price, hoping for some relief in these challenging times. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Also, Commuters in Lagos on Wednesday trekked long distances to their destinations following an increase in transportation fares by commercial drivers. The increase followed the scarcity of petrol that has rocked the nation in the past days, as well as the increase in the price of the commodity by marketers. Victoria Tokolo files in this report as presented from our studio.
The recent fuel scarcity, which has hit Lagos among other states across Nigeria, has increased the living cost of many as the ripple effect begins to manifest. As a first consequence, commercial drivers in Lagos had seized the opportunity to hike bus fares, leaving many citizens who cannot afford the new fare price with no choice but to trek to their various destinations.
Many Nigerian people now are using leg to trek to their work. It's not easy. Say everybody, crowd everywhere.
I believe our government are not doing they are doing less of what we are expecting them to do, and then also the way things is now is very hard for people. People are not enjoying themselves. Even with what the income people are collecting is not meeting up the standard of the society now. Things are very expensive.
Capital Road, before you check down to use our transport location, if you're still going to eat, what train did you have again to work? There's not any train left for the person to work. How can people be suffering like this? And we have government, and we are having government, and they are not finding any solution to it. It's getting worse every day. It's getting worse every blessed day. This thing is too much, please.
Others who are already struggling to make ends meet, especially with schools about to resume, could not help but lament over the situation.
Most of the NNPC total mobilization are very increased their fuel to 8,605 naira, while other regions was to increase their own fuel to no matter 1,000 plus. I don't know where I'm going to this is now. Even the house rate of the country are really increasing. Even Lagos states have only the landlady want to increase their own rent based on what is going on in the country.
Government can actually do something about the situation going on in the country. This is really affecting. Even people are dying suddenly all because of the situation of the country, and people are suffering, people are dying. Please let the government do something about the issue of this fuel scarcity, and the price of the fuel is very, very high. Please, it's really affecting. We are begging.
I buy this soya 1,250. As one go Agege or Sango, I dey charge my passenger or 1,900. It's no day. It's a gas day. Everybody ever do like you go waka yourself. That person who want do, we get money, we get 500. You ever see money to 500 enter again.
The sudden rise in fuel prices in the states from 585 naira to as high as 950 naira and 1,000 naira in various parts of the state is causing difficulties for motorists and commuters who are urging the federal government to resolve the fuel scarcity as it is negatively impacting both lives and businesses.
Meanwhile, tricycle riders on Wednesday took to the street to protest against fuel price hike, disrupting business activities and vehicular movement in Warri South local government area of Delta State. The protesters, who are heavily reliant on fuel for their operations, blocked major junctions including the Decker Road Junction, First Marine Gate Junction and the popular Hausa Quarters Igbudu, causing significant disruption to both vehicular movement and local business activities. The demonstration began early in the morning as hundreds of tricycle operators converged on key intersections, creating severe traffic bottlenecks. The blockage of major roads had an immediate impact on the local economy. Shops and businesses in the affected areas reported a sharp decline in customer traffic. Following the intervention, the blocked roads were cleared by early hours of afternoon to allow traffic flow and businesses to resume.
I bought 1,200 this morning. See my keke, 1,200. Passenger the price 100 naira. Did it not too much? No work. Not only Okada, not the work. Where we Nigerians get. See people suffering. See people suffering.
The reason why we are protesting is simply because of the cost of fuel. And not only the cost of fuel, also is concerning, we are dealing with concerning the cost of fuel that is affecting you as a tricycle driver and also the masses. Because I believe what affects us the masses affects the masses. I mean, what affects us the tricycle driver affect the masses also. Because I will not buy fuel for 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 and carry you at the rate of 100 naira or 200 naira.
Because we don't expect they work. Every time they work, they pay and fuel. But they can't fuel now. If you don't work, now we want to get okay. So the fact is, they made the fuel come down. Now we want.
This has affected the local people in our territory, especially those who are using transportation, those who are buying fuel, doing it their normal routine business. So due to this fact, they cannot put up to it. For example, fuel now is about 1,000 naira.
The leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the presidency on Wednesday traded words over what transpired during the negotiation on minimum wage set at 70,000 naira for workers. NLC President Joe Ajaero had on Tuesday, while reacting to the latest increase in price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, said President Bola Tinubu deceived them during the negotiation. The Labour leader specifically said Tinubu told both NLC and TUC leaderships during the negotiation to pick either 250,000 naira and increase in price of fuel or accept 70,000 naira and allow the price of fuel remain the same. However, in a swift reaction on Wednesday, the senior special assistant to the president on print media, Abdulaziz, described Ajaero's comments as false, arguing that Tinubu never made such offer to the organized labor. The presidential spokesman, who claimed that he was at the meeting throughout the period of negotiations, lampooned the NLC president, saying Ajaero has started playing dirty politics with the emotions of Nigerians. But Ajaero, in his reply, maintained that the labor movement stands by its earlier disclosure that the president betrayed them and by extension Nigerians at large for offering them those two options. Ajaero, who reacted through NLC spokesman Ben Sinupa, described Abdulaziz's denial as amusing. To security matters, a fresh attack by gunmen in Congo community of Boko's local government area of Plateau State has led to the death of 6 persons and injured 1 other. Sources from the community who confirmed the incident said the injured victim is in a critical condition and is currently receiving medical attention. Residents of the area said the incident occurred in the community's market around 7 p.m. when the gunmen opened fire on the victims shortly after the market had closed for the day. He added that the unfortunate incident took place when most traders and customers had already left the premises, leaving only a few people behind. The incident has created yet another security tension in the area, considering that various communities in Boko's local government area have in recent times come under attack. The chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum and governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Yahya, has condemned the recent attack in Mafa Tarmuwa local government area of Yobe State. The governor, in a press statement signed on Wednesday by the Director General, Press Affairs, Gombe Government House, Ismaila Mesili, described the attack as a senseless act of violence that has caused immense grief to the affected families and communities. He commended the security forces for their efforts against the remnants of criminal groups, but emphasized the need for intensified efforts to track down and apprehend those responsible for the attack. The NSGF chairman reaffirmed the commitment of northern governors to supporting efforts aimed at restoring peace and security in the region, stressing the importance of collective action to prevent such tragedies from reoccurring. Gunmen suspected to be Boko Haram insurgents looted and set ablaze shops and houses in the local government area. Also, the Arewa Consultative Forum has called for a quick end to insecurity that has been ravaging the northern region for over a decade. The forum made the call at a meeting convened by its board of trustees in Kaduna State. Trustee Bello Musa has more.
This is a meeting of concerned northerners against the escalating crisis ravaging the country, and northern Nigeria in particular. At the core of the gathering is the view to reinvent and re-strategize the Arewa Consultative Forum to enable it to play the role intended for it by the founding fathers, especially in area of addressing the challenges in the region.
Food production is becoming increasingly difficult as farmlands are abandoned and the farmers are either killed or are fleeing to IDP camps. Whatever it takes, these crises have to end, and end quickly. Our survival depends on it. Destitution and hunger, growing joblessness, especially among the youth, and the twin calamities of Almajiri and street children are all crying for solution. Environmental degradation and crisis of climate change.
With conversations on constitutional amendment dominating some gatherings and many believing that North is shying away from it, the forum expressed readiness for genuine constitutional review in the country.
It is necessary to dispel the impression that the North is or has been shy or is averse to or afraid of any review of the Nigerian Constitution. Nothing can be further from the truth. We must put all and sundry on notice that the North is ready, now and in future, and would be willing to consider any proposals for changing the Constitution as well as the administrative structure of Nigeria that may be put on the table. If and when the occasion arises, the North will surely use whatever is available to it in pursuit of its legitimate interests.
Past governors from the region, members of the forum, elders, and other stakeholders from the length and breadth of the North were in attendance at the meeting. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
You're watching the news update coming to you live from Trust TV studios in the nation's capital. Coming up ahead. FCT residents fume Imo laundry operators struggle amid ongoing power outages. We'll bring you more news when we return. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at our top stories again. We told you that FCT residents fume over petrol hike. Delta tricyclists protests. And to other stories. The Nigerian Bar Association says it is offering free legal representation to the End Bad Governance protesters with court cases across the country. The NBA president, Afam Osigwe, senior advocate of Nigeria, who announced this on his X handle on Wednesday, also directed NBA branches to monitor the legal proceedings across the country. Osigwe directed branches of the Nigerian Bar Association to monitor the trials of the End Bad Governance protesters, adding that he has launched a pro bono support initiative for protesters who lack legal representation. He added that the NBA Citizens' Liberties Committee has been tasked with liaising closely with the chairman and human rights committees of NBA branches in regions where protesters are currently being prosecuted to ensure that no defendant suffers injustice. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja on Monday, ordered the remand of protesters with court cases pending the hearing and ruling on their bail application slated for September 11, 2024. The judge fixed the date after they pleaded not guilty to the 6-count charge bordering on terrorism slammed against them by the federal government. Senators in Imo State say they are facing significant challenges due to the persistent power outages in the state. According to them, their businesses are struggling to stay afloat as a result of epileptic power supply, lamenting that they can no longer rely on them as a stable source of income. Trustees Ajibade Awofeso tells us more.
The laundry business owners, while sharing their struggles with newsmen, explained that a major part of their earnings now go towards purchasing fuel for generators, leaving them with little or no savings.
Even to deliver your work, you have to make many expenses, and sometimes you can't even charge from the work you are doing because your customers also have challenges to pay up because they are also facing the economic challenges. So
there's a lot of difficulties in laundry work, so there are a lot of difficulties, having a lot of problems. Fuel prices, increasement of prices and other things. Like in case of fuel, they have high fuel to 1,000. So and other things like detergent we use and whatever.
As Nigeria situation, everybody knows that Nigeria is having a challenge. So even the work we are doing, so it's not easy for us. We are having a challenge of fuel. Before we are buying fuel, 80 to 9 something. It has not been easy for us.
The affected individuals lamented that both the federal and state governments have not done enough to address the issues of power shortage.
For us, the youth of this country, so we try our best and doing our possible best to keep the thing, but the government still insists of increasing and whatever. Every day you wake up, every time, every particular day, things are getting higher and higher. So we all still try our best in making the country better.
So even customers they are even complaining when you are even increasing their prices about their food, they are still complaining. So we are just managing ourselves, give everything to go until the day the government will change, because we cannot change them. So that's the issue.
Okay. The economy has triggered the increase in a lot of things used in working, like the fuel price, the prices of goods, even to deliver your work, you have to make many expenses.
Despite their frustration, they remain hopeful that the government will fulfill its promises to improve their livelihoods through improved power supply. They urge the government to take concrete steps to alleviate the hardship faced by the masses. Ajibade Awofeso, Trust TV News, Owerri.
A boat carrying migrants capsized off the Libyan coast on Tuesday, leaving one person dead and 22 missing. Libyan authorities said the latest sea tragedy involving migrants seeking a better life in Europe. The Coast Guard in the eastern Libyan town of Tobruk said the boat was carrying 32 migrants, adding that 9 had been rescued. Survivors have been taken to a port in Tobruk. The Coast Guard said the boat sailed from the Bab al-Zaytun area 15 kilometers east of Tobruk, according to the Abrin, a local aid group. The boat capsized after its engine suffered a mechanical failure, said the group, which supports the migrants in eastern Libya. The group said the migrants on the boat were from Egypt and Syria, adding that the 9 survivors were taken to a hospital. And in sports, Team Nigeria's para powerlifter Esther Nwogu has won silver in para powerlifting with a lift of 118 kilograms. She broke the Paralympics record twice. Nwogu set 2 new Paralympic records with her last 2 attempts, lifting 112 kilograms and 118 kilograms respectively. Chinese Chui Ze got the gold with 119 kilogram lift. It was a close competition, but the Chinese had advantage of going after the Nigerian. And on that note, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust Television at this hour. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Saliu. Thank you so much for watching.